Ooh.
Greetings, heathens and heretics, and Sunday night drinking sessions and all that, rah rah rah, all that
All of
jazz.
that.
Yeah,
All of that.
all that utmost professionalism. Welcome once again, and we have company this week. Slightly reluctant company, though, I feel, but we managed to get you back on here again.
Surely not.
You know, and
What are you talking about?
so
Oh, he's talking about me. Yeah, no,
yeah. I always have to drag you.
I know.
On
Every he has to send me a Toblerone in the post just to get me to agree to it again. Yeah,
because it's
You
real
got Toblerone?
pleasure in it. He loves the Toblerone.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I'm a fiend for the Toblerone.
I should have held out for more.
Yeah.
It's got a manky old.
Oh no, listen, don't get me wrong. It took me a while to negotiate my way up to the Toblerone. You know.
It
was
started off as the little
Alfredo
green
here and
triangle
then.
out of the Quality Street.
Ooh.
But
No,
anyway, yes, we have company. Mr. Chris Jones of Old Horntooth and the London Doom Collective. Welcome,
Old Horn
sir.
Chris.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me back, actually. Yeah, it's
Old Horny Chris.
nice to see you boys.
Yeah, but this time it's visual. So
Well, yeah. Hello.
And so we haven't done one of these for a while. Good old Metal Island discs, and we have been talking about this for a few months. So, like I said, we finally got you back on here, and I believe you've been kind of working quite hard on this one and been quite selective. So, no pressure and all that.
It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. I think I've been through my entire record collection at least 4 times, and I think I've changed the 8 about 20 different times.
Right.
On the 2 different albums dropping in and out, and it's been a struggle, but I think I'm all right. I think I've got
Understood. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I guarantee you'll wake up in a sweat tonight, like in the middle of the night. You'll be like, because you'll remember something you forgot, or the order was slightly wrong, and maybe there's that Rat album that you think actually that should have been number 3, not number 4.
But, that's exactly what's going to happen. But
quick sort of trigger warning stuff. Do you have any prog?
No.
Excellent. We can crack on then. Well, go on then.
I did promise to put 8 prog albums in, didn't I?
Yeah, we would have switched off already.
I lied. Sorry.
We've got to draw a line somewhere. Well, let's kick off then. No order or anything like that. Doesn't have to. Whatever you kind of pick up first. But what is album number 1?
Right. So I kind of didn't go for the obvious stuff. I've looked at it from my sort of musical journey point of view. So I've looked at it in a way, like the way that I've consumed music since I was like a kid. So it's not really a best of kind of list. It's more of like stuff that I've listened to that almost changed the way that I listen to music over the years. So
that's great.
I've gone right from the beginning. So my sort of formative years of listening to music all came from mum and dad. Obviously, it was like my house was like literally full of music all the time. But my dad is a massive, massive Bowie fan.
Right.
So, I mean, I think I would have found it really difficult not to stick a Bowie album in to start with. Mainly because it's my first sort of memories of listening to music and thinking, all right, this is good. All right, I like this.
Right.
This is songwriting. This is class.
Do you know what? That's an interesting kind of entry point there, because I do like I'm always interested in when people, like the first time you kind of noticed music, like whatever it was, and it just kind of for whatever reason stood out, and you just were aware of it. So are we saying that Bowie was kind of that for you in your household?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on around my mum and dad's. Like, dad was into Bowie. He massively into the Who. Obviously, there was Sabbath kicking around in there as well, and like there was a lot going on musically. Mum, not quite so much. But also actually class music because she was listening to Motown. So I was immersed in sort of a lot of different styles of music like really early. So that's kind of how it all started, really. First one I chose album wise, I've gone for Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory.
Fine choice.
There you go.
A fine choice, because if you look, if you're going to pick a Bowie album, it's not like it's an easy one to pick, is it? So
Nah.
you know, where do you start? So why Hunky Dory?
Why Hunky Dory? Songwriting on it is incredible.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many standout tracks on it. Like start to finish, it's brilliant. Like it starts off with changes. Like you can't really get a better opening track.
I mean,
if you're looking at this sort of style of music, you can't really go any better than that. Oh, You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, like it's just all-time Bowie classics, aren't they?
I mean, they could have just swapped the title out and called it "The Best of David Bowie." You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
You know,
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
especially
especially side one when you look at it like that. But I mean, it was before he started doing his whole sort of chameleon stuff, wasn't it? It's like so he changed over and over again. But it was before that. It was like I don't know. I just think it's a masterclass in songwriting. I think everything that's done with it is brilliant. And I was reading a little bit about it the other day. He was like, it's saying that all the songs on there, even if they were recorded like guitar based or anything or stuff like that, every single track was written on a piano, and just transposed like into what it then became. So like for me, that's class, like genius, isn't it? Like I've I've got a real soft spot for Bowie. A real soft spot for him all the way through his career, like everything, like all the way through to like right up to the very end, where he was like experimenting with industrial stuff and
I mean the
like that,
Earthling album, wasn't it? Which
working
was
with
like,
Trent Reznor and
I love that album. To be fair, I think Bowie's sort of '90s experimental phase I thought was really good, and it just showed how fucking amazing a man he is, really.
yeah.
You know, a couple of nights ago, a few nights ago, when we were doing the 1981 thing, we were talking about Prince, and it's the same kind of thing. It's just one man, and all that creativity that comes from that mind. It's incredible.
And I think like Prince and Bowie have the same thing in common, is they never really they never dropped the ball, did they? It was always really credible. Whatever direction they kind of went in or however they steered it, you know, you never thought, oh yeah, shouldn't have gone there. You know, it works. They always kind of hit the ball.
Everything hit. And there's not many artists that you can actually say that look, there's not a bad track or not a bad like album in the back catalogue. Yeah, we're talking like 20 albums in, like
Well, exactly that, and particularly with Bowie, I think it speaks to the strength of the songwriting, because stylistically, however they were presented, you know, he brought drum and bass in, you know, you had the rock and roll stuff, you had all kinds of crazy different sounds going on, but the strength of the songwriting shone through, and it transcended all of that, you know. And I think an album like Hunky Dory, you put it on today, and it stands up, you know, it doesn't sound dated because the songs are great.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I think that kind of shows when there's so many TV shows, so many adverts, so many films. It's like it's the tracks off that album are still being used.
Yeah.
For modern productions, they're still there, so they're still, like you say, they stand the test of time.
Yeah, and like across generations as well. The reason they keep getting used is because so many people connect with them, you know, as songs. It's not just like, you know, the oldies all get on with it. It's like generation after generation are still discovering this music and connecting with it, and that's why it, you know, that's why it lasts. That's why it endures.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't do 8 albums without sticking a Bowie album in there. So that was, and that's probably my favorite. So that's going to come with. For sure.
It's a fucking strong start. And don't forget, the world's gone to shit since Bowie died, hasn't it? So,
mate, do you know what? that's actually like a little theory that was like that's been going around on the internet for a while. Like when he died, like I can't remember what year it was. It was like 2019 or something like that, was it?
Yeah, not long before COVID. Really,
yeah, 18, and since then,
was he one of the 2016 like?
Maybe it was 16.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It was a bad year for Jeff,
around that sort of time. Yeah. But yeah, it's like this whole conspiracy thing going on. It's like since Bowie died, the whole fucking world has gone to shit.
He was holding it all together.
He was.
No,
the art held it all together. Bless
Yeah,
him.
man.
It did. All right. Well, where do you go for that then with album number 2?
Oh, album number 2. Right. So Bowie's kind of like my sort of my pop sort of side of things. We were kicking with the, I was saying, alluded to the fact that there was a bit of there was still rock and heavy metal and stuff like that kicking around in the playlists. So I mean, we said about Bowie, we said about the Who, we said about Sabbath, Zeppelin were in there. I mean, we're thinking the Jam as well, like AC/DC. So like, all the classics, man. Um, like I was just like, I'm just consuming all of this stuff. Well, there's one album that my dad put on once. Not once, even many times, but it was Rory Gallagher live.
Oh, nice.
Now, Rory Gallagher live was my first sort of introduction to Rory Gallagher.
Yeah.
It's like Rory Gallagher live. It's just a really raw, emotive kind of album, but
Yeah.
it's all very bluesy, very, very bluesy. And I mean, I love a bit of blues, but I I needed a bit more from it. And so my second album is this one, so Top Priority.
Very cool.
Another
Nice.
no, well, it's a Gallagher album, but this one was a little bit later. It's where it all started going a bit more rock
Hmm.
rather than straight up bluesy, like heavy licks and like real grit and raw energy. So yeah, Top Priority is my second choice.
Yeah. What year did that come out? Does it say on the sleeve? I
Top
don't know.
Priority was, I've got my notes,
Oh, no, he's got notes.
1979.
1979. So yeah, it is.
1979. So I was 2 years old when that came out.
Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, the reason I ask is because, a lot of bands were dialing in that grit. It was like heavy metal
Yeah.
was a thing. It was an influence. It was creeping in. So bands were dialing it up a little bit more. And I mean, God, like Rory Gallagher, like Gallagher's another legend, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he's one that doesn't
Class.
get spoken about in the same levels that a lot of the others from the same era do. You talk about your Eddie Van Halen's, your Tony Iommi, all these people, Jimmy Page.
Yeah,
Not enough people in the mainstream talk about Rory Gallagher. Right? It just clicked that recently his 1961 Strat sold at
Yeah.
auction, didn't it? So just a quick check, £889,000.
It was like stupid, isn't it?
That's just
I bet,
fucking
was
mental.
that Joe Bonamassa that bought that? I bet it was.
It probably fucking
I
was.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Actually, it was donated to the National Museum of Ireland. So,
Oh, fair play.
Right.
there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
Yeah, fair play.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I just loved it. I loved the idea that it was just honest. It's just an honest fucking album, isn't it? Like,
working class hard
yeah,
rock, isn't it?
straight up
Yeah.
hard rock, no
Yeah.
gimmicks,
Yeah.
like and just full on commitment to a heavy rock album. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that just that point you make there about honesty, and sincerity, I think certainly in rock music at that time, that's what they were doing. It was, maybe on the brink of a more commercial leaning sound, across the board, or suddenly realizing that this could be a commercial thing.
Yeah.
But I think back then, a lot of these bands were bar bands, and they were putting what they'd done in their live sets down on tape, and that's why these albums sound so visceral, because
Yeah.
these are touring bands that are just documenting what they do, and that's what we're getting. These albums that we're picking up. So that's why they're so energetic. I love that.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about being a barman. This is not like a massive bone of contention between me and my old man. He's biggest thing at the moment. He's telling me how many times he saw Rory Gallagher live before he
Right.
died.
Yeah,
So yeah, cheers, Dad.
man.
Well, you've got to rub it in. That's what you have, isn't it? When you've got to be able to go, yeah, well, I was there. We'll all do it.
I do it with my kids. I do that with my kids.
Exactly.
It's there's why not have a bit
It's
of fun
the
with
rite
it?
of passage, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking through the albums the other day, and I was thinking, yeah, I've seen them. Oh, bollocks, it's him. I haven't seen it.
Who's your like the one that got away that you've never seen that you like you can't, or those, like for me, for example, it's like I never saw Nirvana.
Yep.
And that'd be one I'd love to see, but obviously no
That's
chance
that's
now.
mine. That is my like big white whale.
Yeah,
I had a ticket for the Brixton show,
right,
Oh, fucking
which
hell.
was what
right.
scheduled for what how many what 2 days after he died. So
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
due. He was in Italy at the time, and they were due to come over, weren't they?
yeah, yeah.
Never did. So
Have you
yeah,
still got that ticket?
sorry.
Have you still got that ticket?
No.
You do see them. You do see them
I
crop
don't
up
know
on
where
eBay
it
and
is.
stuff like that. Yeah,
That's
but
that's another story where
that
that is.
oh, fair play,
But
fair play.
I don't own it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, right,
Ah,
fair play. No, no,
fair
no
enough.
more need said.
That little
No,
story about like your old man seeing Rory Gallagher reminds me of, I was a kid I went to school with who his dad was in a band, like just a covers band or whatever, but he had a story where the Jimi Hendrix Experience supported his dad's band like back in the day in
hell.
some pub in Croydon, you know. So it's a different era, isn't it?
Everyone's got those stories, haven't they?
Yeah, of course they have.
The
Yeah.
one dad keeps all dad ever talks about is there used to be a venue in Edmonton called the Sundown,
Right.
and he was talking about it obviously doesn't exist anymore, but he talks about like going to see the Faces there, and he talks about going to see Slade there, and he talks about going to see Elton John there, and I'm like, what? Stop it! Just I don't want to know. Just, enough of this. So yeah, bone of contention, but yeah, quality album, quality performer.
All right.
Agreed. And this one is lifted straight from your dad's record collection, I assume. This.
No, well, it's my album, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically yeah,
Well, I just mean in terms of where you
yeah,
first
yeah,
heard
yeah,
it. Yeah.
absolutely. In fact, I don't know if he's got that one actually. I know he's got live, but I don't know if he's got that one. But yeah, there's yeah, those first two albums are lifted straight out of like my youth and my dad's record collection, where I was sort of sitting around going, "Oh, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of happy memories with those two picks.
Well, I'm
Really
a little
good.
bit concerned at how classy you started things off because it's all a bit too good at them, and surely you
Well,
must have
I was going
something
to say,
in
yeah.
this list that's a bit less.
Mate, I
Well, if I
did
were
tell you
to,
I've been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, you definitely have, haven't you? Right, so let's go straight into number three then. Let's have that.
Straight into number three. Right. So number three is a little bit more like, a little bit more dirty, actually. To be fair, um,
I see. This is Sabrina, isn't it? Boys, boys, boys.
yeah, this is where it goes downhill. I
Good,
didn't tell you there's no
good.
metal in it. When you say it's Metal Island discs, I haven't got any metal.
That's
Right.
fine.
No, so this is sort of moving on a little bit. So like sort of probably the next decade. So we're thinking about like when I like from sort of 10 onwards.
Right.
Um, I just got into music in a massive way, and I just started consuming music at just an alarming rate. I started listening to like things like Whitesnake,
Hmm.
things like well, you go back and back to the early bit earlier on where we were talking about Rat. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
where was that off air? We were talking about Rat off air, stuff like that. Like just an alarming rate of just picking up stuff and just listening. I got really into hip hop, so I was listening to the Beastie Boys a lot. I was listening to
Right.
EPMD, De La Soul, NWA, Ice-T, stuff like that. I was just constantly listening to just different things,
Yeah.
trying to find something that sort of that resonated.
Where was that coming from? Was that like your friend group or like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, we're talking like we're like last year in primary school, going into secondary school. So yeah, like changing friend groups, like just meeting new people, like and just yeah, everyone was listening to different stuff. So
Right.
I mean, I was one of those kids at school who didn't have one group of friends. I sort of flitted between like different
Yeah.
people all
Yeah.
over. I played sports in school, so
It
there was like,
depending on who you owed money to, I assume.
yeah, who was better at buying booze? That's what it was.
Right,
who,
right,
who
right,
who
right.
looked older?
Yeah.
If you look older than me, you're taking me down a pub. That was that sort of thing. But no, it was I don't know. It's like I was musical. But I was also into sports. So I was like all over the place, everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So listening, like hanging out with different people. Um, so yeah, I could just consuming different sorts of music. But it got to a point where it's where Kerrang came out. I started listening. I started reading Kerrang
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was still into metal, still into rock and stuff like that, and I wanted to sort of like keep abreast of that sort of side of things. I mean, I had influences coming in from like other parts of my family as well. So like my uncle Tony, who's mum's brother, he was listening to things like Motorhead, T-Rex,
Hmm.
Rainbow, all those sort of like classic rock sort of bands. So I would be around his house and he'd be listening to that, and I'd be like, yeah, this is sick. I'm well into this. Mum's other brother Chris was massively into punk, so we're listening to things like Leatherface and The Exploited and bits and
Hmm.
pieces like that. I think like the first thing that he ever lent me was the manky old tape. Was I think it had Leatherface's Mush on one side and Midway Still on the other side. So I was like getting into all of that side of things as well. Um, Skateboarding, I was BMXing. So
Right.
you're getting all these different influences from everywhere.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think the skate scene gets enough credit for just what a mixture of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
kind of the influences just poured into that, as a scene. You could watch the old skate videos back in the day, and you'd hear Slayer on there, you'd hear hip hop, you'd hear, it was just a little bit of everything. The Doors, you know,
yeah. So
It's a
that's one of
cultural
the
crossover,
things I
isn't it?
wrote down.
it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's one of the things I wrote down, like Pal Peralta, like watching the Pal
Right,
Peralta
right.
videos. Like literally, it didn't matter like what one you watched. There was always something that you liked musically. So
Yeah,
I was like pulling in all of those different influences.
yeah.
This is
Or
where
something you
Nirvana
hadn't
came into it as
heard,
well.
right? Something you hadn't heard, but immediately was cool because you're kind of listening to it as it's soundtracking like this fucking rad skate video.
Yeah,
So all of
yeah,
a
yeah.
sudden, like a band you might not have thought about, like as I mentioned, the Doors. I think the first time I heard them might have been on a skate video, and it's just like all of a sudden, it's like shit, this is cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But you also got to think that this is like around this sort of time MTV was made as well. Like MTV was like coming out.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't just like listening to music on videos. Like on like videos you had to buy, it was on the telly. It was
Mm,
coming at you like
mm.
MTV Rocks and things like that, like Headbangers Ball and stuff. Like it was literally just coming at you like for every different angle like it could possibly get. But it's just like this is where Nirvana came into it as well. Like I totally blown away by Nirvana. Um, like we said, the whole sort of the white whale thing,
Mm.
and I can't listen to them now. I can't listen to Nirvana now because
Right,
how
interesting.
sort of heartbroken I was at the time when he,
Really?
yeah, genuine,
Wow.
yeah.
That's powerful, man.
Mm. Yeah, it's hard. So yeah, I missed that one massively. But um, so get back. Let's get back to the pick. So I'm
Oh yeah,
trying to
there is
run.
an album in here somewhere, isn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
There is an
Yeah.
album in here somewhere. So I'm kind of digressing a little bit. So I'll go back to where Kerrang. So Kerrang kind of opened my eyes to a little bit more extreme metal.
Hmm.
So remember um, back in the 90s, Earache did a compilation album called
Yes.
Earplugged. Was it Earplugged?
Earplugs. Yeah, yeah. I think there were a couple of
Earplugged.
those.
Yeah.
So I had like Cathedral, I had Fudge Tunnel, I had Napalm Death, Pitch
Yeah.
Shifter, and bands like that on it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
all of that kind of opened my eyes to like, oh my God, this is like there's a shit ton of stuff out there that I've not heard yet.
Right.
And the one that I picked up from it, so I went I went this way because because I loved Nirvana so much, and I like early Nirvana, I really like Bleach. Bleach is a classic album, like
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, really
Yeah.
agree.
I went similarly, and I went for Fudge Tunnel. Hate songs in
Oh,
E
what's
minor.
that? Is that Hate Songs in E minor
That's
then?
Hate Songs in E minor.
Mate. Now
Yeah. So
that is a heavyweight record, man.
yeah.
That's
So
all riff.
yeah, all riff, absolutely that. But what it did for me is it took what Nirvana were doing on the early albums on Bleach, even like if you think about some of the stuff that they did on Incesticide as well, and it just added more like horribleness. It was just vile, horrible,
Yeah.
horrible shit. But
How old are you at this point when you
so
discovered
this
Fudge Tunnel?
night, I'm thinking what 90, so I would have been 13, 14-ish.
See that in
Man.
itself, because like it's very easy to forget that at this point in life, there's no fucking internet, there's no
Nah,
Spotify, there's
Yeah,
no, you haven't got all these resources where you can go out and listen to this shit. So discovering bands like that, and this is how important Kerrang magazine was to us as kids, I think, and it's easy to
absolutely.
underestimate that or what
yeah.
Kerrang became.
Yeah,
Every week that magazine came out and it was like, right, what's in this? What are the reviews? What is it that I've got to listen to this week? And that is a prime example of that because Fudge Tunnel, we're not talking AC/DC here, are we?
Nah.
This is
no,
Niche.
this is
This is
this is
like,
raw.
niche. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
raw stuff,
yeah.
man. I've got a
yeah,
CD copy of Creep Diets
yeah.
that's got
Which was
that's got
the next one out.
I think, yeah, it was a couple of years later, a year later or so. But it's
Yeah, I think that was 94.
underneath the tray of where the CD sits. There's a handmade. It's like a every there was a limited edition run of those, right? And the
Yeah.
band had handmade a little bit of art under each CD tray. So it's a picture of an elderly couple cut out of a catalogue or something like that in a love heart shape with an arrow drawn through it. And I thought for years, I thought it was just printed on the inlay. I took it apart one day. I can't even remember why. And it's like, shit, no, that's a bit
It's a
of
real
paper.
thing.
That's a real thing that someone's cut out and stuck in there with Pritt stick. It was just like, but then, that's a reminder that we're looking at the underground here.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
all that talk about MTV and mainstream magazines and stuff like that. At the time, Earache was still it was an underground label putting out underground music. And that's where we first started hearing this shit that was just a little bit more
Yeah.
gnarly
But
than
that's
the
why I say
stuff
that
on TV.
compilation, that earplugged compilation for me was just like, it was like opening a massive doorway to like hell, like whatever it
Well,
was. But it was opening a massive doorway to something that I hadn't even considered was available. Because I was still listening to like your mainstream stuff. I was still listening to like I was saying, like Whitesnakes and AC/DCs and things like that.
mate, when I was 13, I was still listening to New Kids on the Block.
You're still listening to New Kids on the Block now,
Yeah,
you
well,
can.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
to be fair, things don't change much, but
For every Coltrane album you put up on Instagram, it's New Kids on the Block now.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I try and keep it on the down low, but occasionally, it comes out.
I think it's weird, and like we all went through that period. I think where because I had the older brother, like it was sort of like what was he, 12, about 12, 13 years older than me, and he was a big metal fan. So he was Maiden and AC/DC, so I had all of that. So it was easy. It all came through him. But at some point, you start looking for something more, don't you? You start looking for the heavier
Mm,
and the more off kilter and the more left field stuff. And this, like I said earlier on, this is where Kerrang and record labels like Earache and that, and to a certain extent, a bit later in the 19th century media as well. That was a big one for
mm.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Roadrunner as well.
Yeah, Roadrunner, Nuclear Blast, all that
Yeah.
Swedish stuff that was in the 90s. That was a big thing for me, and that's why all this stuff is so exciting. And that's why you still remember that album because it's like a turning point in your taste in music.
Mm,
Yeah, I think for me these are things that I still regularly listen to. So
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
they're albums that have never really gone away.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they've really stuck. Like what they were doing at the time really piqued my interest, but it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And just yeah,
And again, like much like Bowie, it's like you put Fudge Tunnel on and they sound as heavy and
hmm
and as
hmm
contemporary now as they did back then.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, they would fit like straight into any London Doom Collective show,
Right.
straight into anything
Yeah.
that's being put on.
Like,
Well,
please,
mate,
if you happen to be listening, Alex Newport,
I,
it's
I don't think that's a goer. I mean, I know Dave's playing with Conan at the moment, isn't he?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think Alex is well and truly like ensconced in his
It's moved on to
yeah
different, different
like
things,
he's a
different things.
massive producer now, isn't he? He's like
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
So
wonder what the whole situation was with Nailbomb, because whether he didn't want anything to do with that
Mm.
I
or
think
I don't know.
from all accounts he just fell out of love with like guitar music or
It's
metal.
fair.
Right.
I think like production wise, he did things like at the drive-in and
Mhm.
bits and pieces like that. But other than that, I think he's just working on like not pop music, but
Yeah, it's pretty
chart
mainstream,
stuff.
but
Yeah, it's very
funnily enough,
mainstream.
I looked up his his Wikipedia, or it might, I can't remember if it's Wikipedia or not. Like when they announced Nailbomb's reunion, and I realized that he wasn't taking part, I had a moment of just like, I wonder what he's up to then. And yeah, it's like quite a lot of, yeah, obviously he's he's having a hugely successful career,
Yeah.
so don't begrudge him that at all. But yeah, it's surprising, the projects that he's involved in when you think about this is the guy, behind Fudge Tunnel, and the production on that Nailbomb album is, I think, is sublime.
Mm.
Yeah, that was close on making it into this.
Right.
Like, that was one of the ones I deliberated on a lot,
Yeah.
trying to get that one in, but oh,
But
just no, they
some
were
of the greatest guitar tones I think ever put down on tape.
incredible
Evil,
album.
pure fucking evil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very, yeah. Yeah, I was gutted when he wasn't taking part. They
Yeah.
kind of made my life a bit easier. I mean, I didn't have to buy a ticket for Bloodstock, so.
Well, I mean,
Fair enough.
talking to that, I mean, I didn't go to Bloodstock. I went to Alcatraz, and at Bloodstock they were in the tent, weren't they? Which was
Yeah.
an issue with the number of people who wanted to see them. But at
It was
Alcatraz they were on the
grand.
main stage, and we watched them from relatively far back, to be fair, and it got lost. It didn't
Mm.
work on the main stage. I think it needed to be in a bit more of a confined space. So I don't know, finding that balance somewhere. Some proper indoor shows would probably be good. They're going to fill Brixton Academy, aren't they? I would have thought
Comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
comfortably. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what needs to happen, because I was like, we went to the bar, which sounds terrible, but
Hold on a
Yeah,
minute.
I mean, just to
Doesn't
counter
sound
that,
like
I had a
you.
different. I did see the Bloodstock set, and it was it was great. But as you said, it was indoor, it's
mm,
compact. It was a bit more contained, which I think added to the weight of the music.
yeah, something that gnarly needs to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, fully.
So right, let's have number
Let's
four
go.
then, before we interject
Let's
with
do
something a
number
bit different.
four. Right. So following on, actually, this one was it came directly from the Earplugged album. So I fell in love massively with
Yes,
Ah,
so the
what a
Ethereal Mirror,
record!
there
quality
you go.
stuff.
There you go.
So that's yeah. So again, like directly from that Earplugged compilation, I was again consuming at an alarming rate, but that was one of the standout things for me. Love the groove, love the guitar tone, love the solos, loved Lee Dorian's eccentric vocals and like
That's what
craziness
made
going on.
Cathedral for me, was his just ludicrous vocal style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was Cathedral, man.
Yeah,
Like that, everything was over the top, and it didn't matter what album. What don't matter what album you listen to, everything is over
yeah,
the top,
Mm, mm.
and that's what I love about them. I think they are so underrated
Yeah.
in
yeah.
their
Of course
songwriting,
they are.
like and
I
in
think.
the style. I just think they're an incredible band.
Mm. I think they, in a lot of ways, they encapsulate heavy metal in such a great way. Like
Yeah,
it's heavy, but it has its tongue firmly in its cheek, and I think those two elements are both really important in heavy metal as a whole. If you get that, then you can pretty much go anywhere in metal. And I think Cathedral, they had that in perfect measure.
You only have to watch the video to Witchfinder General to know
yeah.
that there was a sense of humor about it all.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
but that was the thing, wasn't it? It's like it was just groovy. It was funny, but
Yeah,
at the time, nobody in metal was doing anything funny. Everyone was like
That's
really
true.
like
Very
angry
serious. Yeah,
and
yeah,
miserable and like
yeah.
really in your face kind of stuff. So this was like a bit of a breath of fresh air when it was like come
Yeah,
out
yeah.
because
There's a boogie element to
it had
Cathedral as well.
personality.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly that. Like it wasn't cold. It didn't leave you like thinking, oh yeah, but it's fun. Like I said, there was a boogie element. It was funky. You know, it was
Yeah.
just a wonderful, wonderful band. And when you're talking about those bands that got away, they're one for me. I've never seen them.
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
was living
same.
in Cornwall when they did the final show at the Scala, wasn't it? I think the final one. And I was,
Forum, I think.
oh yeah, but I was like, I'm in an iron as to whether to come up or not, and I didn't. And you know, that's history. But yeah, yeah, real shame never to see them. But
Emotional show.
yeah, I bet,
Mm.
I
Mm.
bet. But
But
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
great, absolutely great shout though. Yeah, man.
just it's a quality album. Just
Mm.
just
Mm.
there's not much else I can say about it. Just it really got me
yeah,
Mm. I think they're another band,
amongst
just
all of the sorry.
no, I
Sorry.
was just going to say, I think, similarly to Fudge Tunnel, I think if ever there was a band that could get together and absolutely, everyone would be first in line for a ticket,
Yep.
yeah,
well, obviously you can't all be first in line, but you know what I mean? Wrestling
Oh
for
yeah,
that
I know
spot.
exactly what you mean.
Um, it would be, people would be, it's kind of like run, do not walk, get a ticket. I think they'd
Yeah.
clean up.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. Yeah.
do we think there'd ever be any chance of any kind of cathedral reunion? Any kind of
Yeah,
quite a while since that final
it
show,
would
isn't it?
surprise me. I mean, it's always a never say never, isn't it? But it would
Yeah,
surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Lee's really into it.
no,
Mm.
probably not. He's sort of like a bit of a, old man in his record shop, and I get it. It's a lot of effort in it, but
Yeah, it is a lot of
it's a
effort.
lot of effort in it. Get up there
It's
and
a
do,
lot of
It's
effort.
this rock and roll business.
it's a lot of
A lot of
effort.
effort. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, right, before we move on, then, as we've got you on here, we may as well talk about Masters of the Riff because that's only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about it then. The lineup and all that kind of shit because it's a fucking great lineup. It really is. We're really looking forward to it. We will be there in droves. So who's playing? Who's doing what? All of that.
Who's doing what? We're all really busy. No, it's mate, to be fair, this year we are really proud of the lineup we've put together. Um, it gets harder and harder every year,
Yeah.
Of trying to find bands that are a little bit a little bit not I'm not going to say left field, but a little bit out of the norm. The ones you don't very often see at UK
Yeah.
festivals. So it's like for us, we want to make ourselves different from Desert Fest. We want to make ourselves different from Stoom Fest. We want to make ourselves different from all of the other bands, all of the other sort of day festivals
Yeah.
and promoters around London. We don't want to just keep rehashing the same old stuff. So it's getting harder and harder every year. But I think we've done all right. So Friday night we've got Viking Skull who are going to headline for us. I'm getting this is a bit of a teaser actually because we haven't actually announced a date split yet. So
Hey,
I don't know
exclusive.
whether I should actually be doing that. Probably get told off.
By the time this goes out, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's right. Yeah. By the time it goes
Yeah.
out, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Viking Skull. They are going to do the Friday night for us. We've got tons coming over from Italy to do the main support on that day, who are absolute filth. Like New Orleans style sludge, but Italian. Mad, but they are class, man, absolute class. And then we've got Longheads playing on that night as well, and Sigiriya coming over from Wales.
Wales.
Right.
Yeah, so if anyone remembers Acrimony,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
a couple of
Of
those,
course.
a couple of the old Acrimony boys in there.
I
Been looking
love.
up.
Sorry to interrupt. I got to say, like we're talking about '90s compilations. There was a Kerrang compilation CD in around about '96 that had an Acrimony song on it.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was. It's from Tumuli Room. And ever since then, I became hooked on that band and have ever since. That's an album that needs a fucking vinyl repress. So,
100%.
you know,
Right. There
the
you
album
go.
that came before it's just been repressed. I picked that up from Black City, but Tumuli Room needs a repress. Fucking great band. Great band.
Yeah, and another one of those really sort of unsung heroes of
Yeah.
the early British doom scene, haven't they?
Yeah, massively. Great band.
So yeah, we kind of had to get Sagiri on over for that as well. Saturday going to be headlined by Domcraft, who
Really looking forward to seeing them.
are phenomenal live. We hosted them a couple of years ago at the Black Heart, and it was probably our most successful show ever.
Great.
Incredible show, like fantastic people as well. And we've also got Grin coming over from Germany, two-piece, very, very good band. Who else is on that one? We've got Caligram playing that day, which is a bit of our solid wild card that we normally try and stick in every year. Bit of black metal for everybody, just to break up the the heavy doom.
The thing is, it's interesting because it completely, like, I know we've talked about this a lot on this episode, but the idea of that, the Kerrang CD or the mixtape or something, you want there, we would listen to that and there'd always be something that was, a new sound or that took us on a different trajectory. So putting a festival together in the way you have, it completely meets that brief as well. You go in there because you understand and you know what you're getting, but also there are those little bits that take you off somewhere else, take you on a new road.
Yeah, I think that's what we always try and do. It's like I said, we don't want it to be just stagnant and stale, or I'm not saying that the other ones are stagnant and stale, but we don't want it to be the same every year. We want it to have character. We want it to have standout moments like that, where you're sitting there or standing there with a beer and you like the next band comes on and you're just like, what the? And like for us, that's what this is all about. So, like you said, like very much like a mixtape, very much like a compilation. The good thing about it is because there's like three of us working on it, we all come at it from a different points of view, so different angles. So myself, Sean, and Ollie have all got different tastes, and we try to get as much of that in as possible. So we've all got an input into what the lineup looks like. So hopefully that comes across and it kind of like piques people's interest a little bit more.
Right.
So that's how we try and do it anyway. But whether that works, who knows?
So then we got Sunday left. Then who's left?
Sunday night is going to be Electric Citizen closing.
Can't wait to see them.
Very, very excited about having Electric Citizen over. It's a band that I've wanted to see for a very long time. Never actually had the chance to see them, so like properly stoked about that.
Yeah.
Got St. Karloff coming over from Sweden as well, which is going to be electric, shall we say, or heavy, shall we say? I don't know. It's going to be good, but yeah,
electric and heavy. It can be both. Why not both?
Heavy and electric.
Yeah,
it's definitely not Bob Dylan.
Definitely.
But then backed up with the Lunar Effect, which a band we've been like friends with for a while, and it's just really good to see them working their way up and making serious waves in the scene. Got King Witch coming down from Scotland.
Great band. That album last year was superb.
Yeah. Absolute class. We were lucky enough to have them on at the Black Heart as well a little while back, and I missed it, but Ollie and Sean put that one on, and apparently that was phenomenal as well. So really looking forward to having them here. Who else is there? Across the weekend, you've got you've got the Grey coming down, Beans t-shirt. We've got Collapse coming over from Sweden. We are incredibly excited about having
them.
I know you're a fan.
Yeah, both of us we raved about them, and we had Daniel on a few months back, and just a fucking great band that more people need to lock into them because they're awesome, fucking awesome.
Yeah, good vibes in that. Very
Yeah.
real good vibes in that album. So really happy about having those guys. But then, like absolute classic, we've got Witch Sorrow coming down and playing as well. Druides coming down from Newcastle. We were
Another
very
band
good.
I'm really looking forward to seeing. Yeah.
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 So I'm trying. I don't want to forget anyone. So Morag Tong. We've had Morag Tong in the pipeline for about 4 years. Eventually, they've managed to say yes to us. Believe in Nothing again, making massive waves at the moment
Yeah.
across the scene. So yeah, really pleased to have them. Commoner. Who else? Just trying to think who else we've got. Oh, Horse God War. Horse God War,
What's
sorry.
called War?
Excuse me.
Nice.
Horse God
Very
War.
nice.
Put my tongues back in. Oh, and of course, Bare Bones. Bare
Yes.
Bones.
I think
Which
something else I need to give you a shout out for is the lineup poster. Right, the back of the jacket. I think that, like, I can't believe that no one has thought about this before,
Yeah.
but that's a fucking classy touch. That love it.
in all
Whose
honesty,
idea was it?
so Ollie does all of our work, all of our artwork.
Right.
So
Well, shout out to him.
we put the lineup together and we just say to him, right, here you go, work with that,
Make it look pretty.
and that's what he came back with.
It's brilliant.
So
Fully,
Fucking
and it just
hats off to Ollie for that. It's absolutely class.
it just
Um,
completely sets things up. You know exactly what you're going to expect.
yeah.
Uh,
So another exclusive that nobody knows about yet.
ooh.
We are going to be having a couple of those made
Oh,
for the festival,
Man.
oh,
which we will be raffling off across the
Oh.
weekend.
Oh my.
So
That is very cool.
yeah,
Very
get
cool.
some buy some tickets. Oh,
Right.
battery's
So
gonna
for
run.
anyone that kind of hasn't seen the poster, doesn't quite know what we're talking about. So the Master of the Riff 2026 poster is like, it's a denim cut off with all the band patches on the back. Um, yeah, it looks very cool, man. So to see one of those in the flesh, as it were, that's a treat.
yeah. That'll
Yeah,
be
so
that's cool. That's very
yeah,
cool.
that's one of the merch items that we've got coming up. So hopefully we'll make a good bit of money out of that one for probably charity, and we'll see where we
Yeah.
go with it. So
Yeah.
hopefully.
So tickets then, where can people get what they need? And
Yeah, so tickets are available on Dice. So weekend tickets, 75 plus fees. Day tickets will be available by the time this comes out. Again, I'm not sure what the split is, but around about 30 quid a day ish. Probably a bit
not
more
that.
than that now, but 30 to 40 quid a day. But for that, you're getting 4 bands on the Friday, you're getting 9 bands on Saturday, 9 bands on Sunday. All absolute quality
Yeah. No,
Can't knock
no
that.
doubts
and
there.
a brilliant weekend. For me, I think it's one of the better weekends that exist. I mean, I know it's slightly biased, but
It's the best weekend of the year.
well, for me, well, yeah, it is for me actually. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
Look, come
brilliant.
on.
Like,
Let's yeah,
But
call it what it
it comes
is.
at the right time as well, because like it's at the end of February. So the dates are 27th, 28th of February and 1st of March, aren't they, that weekend? And I think it comes at the right time because January's fucking shit. Everyone writes off January, and you get to the end of January, right? I've got through it now. I've got payday. I can get myself a Masters of the Rift ticket, and you've got something to look forward to. So it's like the first sort of big event to look forward to in the calendar.
Mm,
You've got all the others throughout the year, all the summer festivals and all that lot, but you are in there first. So it's like, come and fucking celebrate what is the
yeah, I mean
start of your metal year.
that's kind of how we wanted it to be positioned. It's just like again, like big celebration of like a new year starting.
Yeah.
Like we
right.
will write off January, like you said. So February is the time where you buy your ticket and you look forward to the end of the month, short month as well, which is
Yeah.
even better. So it
Yeah,
comes
this is
around
true.
quicker. So yeah, buy a
Yeah.
ticket, come
Buy
and
a ticket, come and
enjoy.
get involved. And Bean
Yeah.
will buy you a drink.
Silly
Um,
lads. That's what I think. Oh, to be
what
fair,
can I say?
we have got we've got a brew being made by Black Iris again. So
Oh, hello, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Black Iris Brewery
Yeah.
are doing a Masters of the Riff beer again. So come
So
down
there's
and get
so
some
there's
of that.
beer involved in this weekend as well.
Wow.
Well, maybe if you
Okay.
wanted it to
Well,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be fucking
I'm not
Beer
driving.
going to
means
force you.
travel.
Right. Let's do. Where are we? Album number five.
Five.
Number five.
We are
There
at
we are. I think
album
we're at the
number
halfway
five.
point.
Right, I need to remember where I am. Where am I? Right.
Hmm.
This is one that I I love this album so much, but I'm really gutted that I haven't got it on vinyl.
Right.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
really gutted that I haven't got it on vinyl. And the reason I
Is it
haven't got it
is
on
it is it
vinyl,
available on vinyl, or is it one of those ones where you kind of like fingers crossed you're waiting for that press?
it is available on vinyl. Um, but you need we'll need a repress for it to be affordable.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Because
there's a
every time
few.
I've looked on Discogs, it's upwards of like £100, and I don't
Yeah,
really have
right.
that much money to chuck around
fuck
on
that.
vinyl.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't own this on vinyl is because at the time I discovered it. I wasn't living at home. I was living away. I was out and about with university and like
Yeah.
living out with my mates. So we're talking like early 20s now, or I've sort of gone away from the school stuff, gone away from all my childhood friends and everything,
Mm.
and just out all the time, constantly. But this we it's almost like a I don't want to. It makes it sound really dramatic. It's like the wilderness years. It makes it sound really dramatic. It's not the wilderness years. It's just I kind of lost touch with metal, and not because I was bored with metal. Well, no, actually, I think it was. It was because I was bored with it. I
Right.
think between sort of '97 and the early 2000s, I don't think there was a lot
It
going on.
started to slim down, didn't it? You
Well,
Yeah,
know.
it's a shit time in terms of the mainstream. So
yeah.
Mm.
I personally wasn't like massively into that at the time. I've moved away to university.
Right.
Was living in South London, down in Brixton. So on my doorstep, we had three or four different like drum and bass and breakbeat and like dance clubs. So
Right.
as much as we would listen to like rock and metal and stuff like that at home, we weren't going out and seeing that sort of stuff. We were going out to clubs. We were going out and like dancing until like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of lost touch like quite dramatically with it. So we used to go to, we used to go to there was you know, the big church in Brixton, Brixton Church.
Oh yeah,
middle,
yeah,
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 in the middle,
yeah.
yeah,
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 so
yeah.
underneath there was a club called the Bug Bar, and we that
Right,
was where
yeah.
we used to be all the time. So I can't remember what the club upstairs was. There was a big one upstairs in the church, but we were always downstairs in there. So right, that was me at the time. When we were at home, we were listening to we were like back onto like the punk music stuff. We're listening to things like Bad Religion, No Effects,
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
the Fat Record stuff, all like Lagwagon and
Yeah.
all those sorts of bits and pieces. So I still kind of kept up with like the rock and metal side of stuff, but the dance music was the bit that was really exciting me. And I don't know, I don't know what it was that shifted. It kind of shifted a little bit from where it was more feeling the music,
Hmm.
like being part of like letting it sort of wash over you. Kind of that was that kind of vibe that I was
Yeah.
having. Um, so I mean, where like guitar music was always there, it was always the bass, but I had something new to listen to, and and that was where I was like, that was where my consuming was coming from.
Right.
So like the metal side of it was still there. I mean, I tried with new metal, really tried with new
Hmm.
metal. Went and saw some, went and saw some of those bands. Um, and the only one that really ever stood out for me was Deftones.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
thought
They were too good for all that.
they were the
Yeah.
cream
Yeah,
of that crop of
Yeah.
bands.
And I think they're still putting out quality music, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
yeah. I that was the one takeaway from new metal that I always liked. Um, but I saw Korn, I saw Limp Bizkit. I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, it was
Hmm.
fun, but
Mm.
it's not. I don't. It's not really
Nah,
getting me. It's not
nah.
really grasping me. It's not really
No,
taking me anywhere.
I think what's interesting about all of those bands is their appeal. If they have any appeal left, it's a nostalgic thing. Whereas I think a
Yeah,
band like Deftones are still putting out, legitimately good records now. They're not just relying on what they did, 20, 25 years ago, whatever it was.
Private Music was a top 10 for me last year. Loved
Mm.
it.
yeah, it's
You know,
class.
standard
But
album.
again, they haven't really changed much.
No.
No,
Like
no.
musically, they've stayed very similar to what they were like right at the
Yeah,
very beginning, and
I,
that's testament to how good they were
Yeah.
back then. I,
fully.
it
Yeah.
stands the test of time, doesn't it?
For me, they're one of those bands. I put them in the same category as like Motorhead and AC/DC. It's like you know what the album's going to sound like.
Yeah.
It will be the same ingredients in a slightly different ratio, but they do what they do so well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Completely. So yeah, so that's what was going on at the time. But one album really stood out for me, and obviously I didn't have a chance to buy it on vinyl because I wasn't into buying vinyl at the time. But I discovered Cult of Luna,
Oh, hello.
Right.
Salvation.
Right. Okay.
That's a great
This
album.
was like my gateway back to metal. Um, it gave me the same sorts of feelings that the dance music was giving me at the time. Like really
Interesting.
full, heavy, like all-encompassing bass, all-encompassing. Just like it was just like a massive envelope, like a massive warm
Mm.
envelope, just like grabbing hold of you and just like keeping you in. It was just incredible album. Like but it felt like really patient. Like just it 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 didn't hit you in the face.
Right.
It crept up behind you,
Right.
Yeah,
grabbed you by the neck, and
but
just
then it hit you in the
and
face. Then
squeezed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
sort of
it's like
like
it wasn't a full-on sort of like kick your head in album. It was like I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna take you. It was that kind of feeling, and it was brilliant, just amazing. There's like this. There's like a refrain that goes through. I think I can't remember what tracks it is. It's I can't read it. To be honest. Vague illusions leave me here and waiting for you. Those three tracks together, there's like this little
right.
refrain that goes through each one of those songs, and it comes up in every song. So it kind of ties everything together. They're like three totally different songs.
Yeah.
You know that it's all like together. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's
That's
such a
that. I
great
mean,
album.
that's pretty sophisticated shit right there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's almost like how classical music works. We have a
Yeah, yeah.
suite, you have themes that just come in, and you hear something and it's reframed, and it might be played in a
Absolutely, that.
slightly
That's
different
yeah.
way.
I never looked at it that way before, but yeah, it is. It is literally that. You'll hear it come. That comes in from over here somewhere,
Right,
and it's like, oh my God, I've heard it. And then you just know it's just beautiful. It's such a class album.
right.
That's it. That's the one I'm really gutted that I don't own on vinyl.
I'm
So,
so you know what I'm
Right.
so glad you brought that album up because I mean I love that era of Cult Luna anyway. Saw Cult Luna God knows how many times off of the Beyond was the second album, wasn't it?
yeah,
Saw them loads of times on that because they were touring with fucking ISIS and Dillinger Escape
yeah,
Plan and all these great bands, all those tours, and then they released this album. And I remember seeing them. I travelled to the Furnace in Swindon. It's a really weird venue because the stage is behind some like railings where you would normally have like bar tables and whatnot. And they were playing with Bleeding Through, metalcore band
yeah,
from that kind of time, sort of
Right.
black
yeah.
metal tinged sort of
Mm.
metalcore type thing. And this album had already come out, and I'd loved it already. But they played "Waiting for You" at the end of the set, which is obviously like such a slow burner, isn't it? But the ending of that song just completely fucking crushes your skull. It's just so fucking intense. and I think it's probably the most intense thing they've ever done.
Yeah, that
It's
was what sold it to me. Like
incredible,
Mm.
saw them at the
fucking
where they did this
incredible.
thing on that tour at the Underworld, and it was just like fuck.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
fucking absolutely blown away by them back then. I actually lost touch with Cult Luna after that album and have done for years. And some of the recent stuff has tickled me. Like the album with Julie Christmas was really
Mm,
good. But I saw them in the summer at Alcatraz, and they just don't connect in the same way that they did back then. It was obviously much smaller venues and things, but there was something about how special they were in those
yeah,
early days.
I think it need that sort of stuff lends itself to a smaller stage.
Yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
think
Mhm,
it gets
mhm.
lost on a huge
Yeah,
stage without it being like a massive production.
yeah,
I think you kind of lose that intimacy with this
yeah,
music. Like I
completely.
said, like
It's,
it creeps up
it's
behind you and grabs hold of you. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like I'm coming for you. It's like I'm here.
It's a
I'm in
little
your
bit
face
like
now.
kind of how we describe nail bombing, like that the size of the room sort of compresses the weight of the music down,
yeah,
so everything's squeezed and you really feel it. Um, but it's interesting because you make the point about the way the music, has this sort of almost like self-assured confidence to it.
Mm.
It's not smashing you in the face. It's just like, here we are.
Yep.
And I see parallels between that and Old Horn Tooth, man. I can see that influence in the sense that Old Horn Tooth music is very much like this is us, we're heavy,
Mm.
but it sits in that space in a really self-assured way. All of your songs do that. So whether it's deliberate or not, or you've made that connection before, the way you described Cult of Luna there, I can hear I hear similarities, not necessarily even musically, but just in that idea of it's just this strong central sound that just sits there.
Yeah, I think I think you'll kind of see a pattern with like the last four albums in like these last four are pretty much the reason that Old Horn Tooth for me exists. The
Right.
reason that I started to think, "Do you know what, this is where I want a band. This is how I want a band to be.
Great.
Um, so yeah. I've never directly sort of thought Cult of Luna, obviously slightly different stylistically. So I've never
Yeah,
really
yeah.
ever looked at it in that way. But I guess like when you look at when you think about what we do compared to what they do, it is. I mean, we always wanted atmosphere.
Mm,
Atmosphere was always like the forefront of what we wanted Alternative to be as a band. It needed to be something that like just grabbed you and just
yeah.
went, "This is us. We're here. Listen."
Right. And that's
That
that's what I heard. That's what I heard when you described that, hearing that Cult of Luna album. That's what I heard you say,
mm,
which is why I make that connection.
yeah. So oh yeah, well, I guess I've kind of answered my own question a little bit, but yeah. Well, you've kind of answered what you've told me, but yeah, I mean yeah. Yeah, I just love that album. I
Yeah.
think that it's one of their unsung albums. I feel
The
like
other
you're
thing I
just gonna
love
say
about
that.
that story,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Of all the Cult Loon albums that people go on about, like Vertical and like I said, the Julie Christmas albums and all of those, that's one that doesn't get talked about enough, and
yeah,
it is it's a magnificent piece of
yeah,
work.
it's
Yeah,
a beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, and just the other thing I wanted to connect with is the idea that you'd veered away from metal, and that influenced what came next because to experience those club nights, drum and bass, huge
Yeah.
swaves of bass and low end, and again to drive that to what came next with you've still got you're still sort of casting the net for metal, but nothing's coming back, and then this band comes along, but your tastes have moved on because you've experienced this whole thing about low end.
Mm.
Then this comes along, and again, to make the parallel with Old Horn Tooth, it's swathed in low end. So it's just about acknowledging that on some level that comes from the drum and bass scene, which is a really
100%,
crazy thing,
100%.
to acknowledge.
Yeah, I think that was why I had to sort of put it into the story because I think without that episode, without that sort of evolution of my like musical tastes, I don't think don't think we would be the same band
Right.
because not that we're in any way, shape, or form like a drum and bass band, or we don't set ourselves up like that. But I think aesthetically, I that's what I resonate with, like that
Mm.
real low end, that real heavy bass, that real sort of like atmospheric feeling. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what drum and bass and breakbeat and things like that do. They create an
Mm.
atmosphere,
Yeah. Yeah. And resonate is a key word there
and
because it
resonate is a key word.
literally
Yeah,
moves the air, you know.
absolutely.
Oh, we'll look forward to the old Horn Tooth drum and bass project then. Can't wait
Yeah,
for that.
the remix album,
Yeah, a bit of that fucking hell. That'd
right?
be interesting.
20 minutes, 20-minute remix
20 minutes
album.
fucking drum and bass. God, fucking hell, imagine that.
I
Right,
won't subject you to it, so
no,
don't
no,
worry.
number six then. Let's have it.
Oh, is that where we're at? Number
We are.
six.
Got six,
Blimey.
seven, and eight left to go. Yeah.
All right, okay. It's taking forever. Right, next one. True Doom.
Oh,
Oh,
Serpent Venom's Carnal Altar.
I have never heard that album.
Oh, you are in for a treat, my friend.
Oh, hello.
Classic, classic British Doom.
there you go.
Um, just again, another album that just sort of blew me away when I first heard it. It's like all the best parts of Sabbath, Cathedral, Pentagram, all everything rolled into one. But
I
it
mean,
was
that's three bands made up of best parts. So, you know.
like stick it all on one album
Yeah.
done by one band, and that's what you get. It's absolutely classic quality album, just like modern British doom, but with a traditional sound.
Right.
It sounds like it could have come out in the 70s, but at the same time, you know that you know that it's a more modern classic. I mean, it's like
Mm.
2012 or something like that.
Mm.
Um, just pure riff worship.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's a theme that comes across in all your choices is how timeless they are. You know, they're all albums that you could put on and maybe question, you know, is this a 90s album, an 80s album? Was this recorded in the 70s?
mm.
Which is, you know, I've made the point already, but it's the sign of great songwriting or great, you know, just
I
great
totally agree.
great arrangement, great production techniques. You know, it's yeah. How did this one come on your radar?
Uh, God, I I think it was again. We were still looking at. I was still looking at Kerrang at the time. I was still Metal Hammer Kerrang and things like that. Um, I don't know. It must be. Yeah, it's got to be. Never even thought about it before, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
they just popped up.
Graham,
Like kind of by this sort of time, like I was back, but like round like, where I live now, but
mm,
looking more at, I was back into doing, back into metal, back into like the scene. I was back in going out in Camden, and I was playing again. I was like
right,
I picked up the guitar again, and
yeah.
um.
So let's just hover on that for a little bit. When did you start playing guitar? What you know,
I
was
was
that because you know you're into these bands, you sort of mentioned being 10, 13. Were you playing guitar then?
So
When did this come in?
I first picked up a guitar when I was about 14. So we I messed around with different bands at school. So we had like I think like three or four different bands. A couple of them like managed to get out and play some shows, bits and pieces like that. Like really like but it was of the time. So um it was more. We always used to like say the band used to be called Trace, and we
Right.
always used to describe ourselves as Helmet doing pitch shifter up the fudge tunnel with a drum machine. That was always our pitch. So there were
Right.
three of
I mean,
us.
I'd sign that.
Yeah, three of us. Like
Is there any vinyl out there?
there?
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
three of them. But those were our influences. Like well, at the time, we Helmet were amazing. We loved Helmet. Like that
Yeah.
Helmet was
Yeah.
like that was another album that could have made it into this.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Betty.
Oh, okay.
So
Helmet's
Betty
Betsy
over
album.
meantime. Okay.
That's
Right.
another album that could have
Yeah.
made it into my list, but I had to I had to shorten it.
Something's
Damn you
got to give, isn't it?
guys. But yeah, I mean, that was what we were doing at the time. Obviously the pitch shifter and fudge tunnel stuff there was all like that was all like what was going on when I was that sort of age, sort of like
Yeah.
14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I first picked it up. But
Yeah. Pitch
I think
Shifter
I
would have been
alluded to
another
it a little
band
bit.
that Earache were pushing on those
Yeah, they were
compilations
hard.
as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I think I alluded to it before. I got like, quite heavily into sports, so like stopped playing basically.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got pretty badly injured playing rugby that I picked my guitar back up again. So I mean, now we're talking like um, probably 24, 25 when that happened.
Right.
So that was kind of where I sort of went, do you know what? I'm going to start playing again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And did you
that was
still have all the
the
gear? It was all
catalyst.
just sat there like with a layer of dust on it somewhere.
You know what? I think the amp, I didn't own an amp at the time, so I think I sold everything. So I kind of had to,
Right.
had to start
So
from the
it was
beginning
starting
again.
from scratch then, really.
Yeah, starting from scratch again. Yeah, 24, 25. Um, but then nothing really ever came together. I was like, I was only just dabbling. Just
Mm,
never. It was never really I'm going to put a band together. It was always just just I'm enjoying myself again. I'm enjoying playing it. So
yeah.
yeah, difficult
Yeah.
one that was.
Yeah. All right. Let's have number 7 then.
Number seven. Number seven. I've done it the wrong way around anyway. But anyway, number seven is cough.
What we got?
Can't see
Still
that.
okay.
Just see the reflection of your own screen in the cover and my own hands.
There you are. I'll take it out of the plastic. There you go. Coughs. Still they
Oh,
pray.
cough. Oh,
Oh,
cough.
fucking
Oh,
hell.
right. Okay. Just when we thought it couldn't get any heavier, lo and behold,
Lo and behold, there we go. Cough. I don't know what I can say about that album other than it's fucking brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Disgusting, oppressive, filthy.
Yeah, I mean, we say it often on this podcast, but those are words that you wouldn't normally associate with a recommendation.
Yeah.
But in heavy music, it just everybody immediately. It's all like when you talk about Cult of Luna, saying it's like being someone creeping up on you and attacking you. It's like, and everyone goes, yeah. Like, any other circumstance, that's not what you want to happen in life. But
No,
In metal, it's the ultimate badge of honor.
metal,
yes,
it's
it's
exactly
funny
what you
because
want to do.
I remember the first time I ever heard about Cough, they were being described to me. I think I was at Desert Fest and we were they weren't playing, but we were walking up. We were doing that run, from the main part of town up to the Roundhouse, I
Yeah.
think. We were one direction or another, I can't remember. And I was being, told about Cough, and all the same words that you're using right now were brought into the conversation. So instantly, you're just like, yeah, if it sounds like sticky and oppressive, I want it. And they're not a band that disappointed me.
Nah, I again don't think they've put out a bad album. I think like any one of their records could have made it in. But that one really stands out for me because I think it's just a little bit catchier. I think there's
Right. Yeah.
like the first track, Haunter of the Dark, is just that riff is just so good. So good. Like it just makes me go crumble every time I listen to it. But yeah, I can't even remember where I first heard it. I think it was must be through Electric Wizard and things like that. Just sort of
Mhm,
like
mhm.
once you start getting into that, it's like a rabbit hole, isn't it, Doom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Like
yeah.
a rabbit
The
hole. Like
darkest, longest rabbit hole.
once you start, it's just there's just so many different ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
Like starting off with Cult of Luna, obviously, like it's not true doom, but it kind of led me on to a little bit more. Obviously, I had the formative years with your Sabbath and your Cathedral stuff earlier on,
Yeah.
but then once you like the more modern stuff, like it just branches out so
Yeah.
far. Like
Mm,
coming from that Cult of Lunar album through Serpent Venom, then like you think you like it goes into things like Monolord, and then you've got like
Love
and
Monolord.
you yeah
I mean, these are just bands that kind of really distill the riff down to, it's all weight. It's like by this
Yeah.
time, that's what we're feeling. That's what Doom. Think back to. I mean, it's almost like, right back at the beginning with Sabbath and Iron Man. It's like if you took that riff, that primal energy of that riff, and then just really kind of, dialed it in and just made it as heavy as possible. This is where we end up now.
yeah just riff heavy
I
riff.
think, there's some bands that over the years that I've like, when I first heard them, or someone has recommended them to me, and they've said, "Oh, you got to check out this Doom band." And I think the one that sticks in my mind for that is Amon Ra.
Yeah.
Like, when they were first recommended to me, fucking whenever it was like, check out this fucking Belgian Doom band. They're so heavy, and then nowadays everything is post metal, isn't it? So it's got like this new term, and
Tag.
like, I've come to accept it, except for what it is, post this, post whatever. But in a nutshell, it is all doom.
Mm.
It's because you take away, your Electric Wizards and all this that we think of as doom. The word doom and the sound you think that creates, it's just got to be oppressive and horrible and heavy, and all of that. And all of these bands fit in, even bands, I don't know, like Baal, for instance, who are
Yeah.
post sludgy
Blast
black
band.
metal. Yeah, great fucking band. Just as much doom as they are anything else. So yeah, it's such a loose term. Yeah, I'm waffling now, but
No.
it's
It
kind of
makes
what it is.
perfect sense because it is such a loose term. It's what I was trying to get across earlier on. Like it might have started with Cult Luna and like Cathedral, but there are so many different branches.
Yeah.
Like, but
I mean,
with a tag, like,
yeah, it's the
a tag
beautiful
that
thing
some
about,
people might like it, some people might not like it.
it,
But I guess it kind of pigeonholes a little bit to what style of Doom, doesn't it? So
When do we
yeah,
get post Doom then? When's that happening?
don't know.
it's in the, yeah, I don't know.
There
Who
you go.
knows?
Somebody starts.
But I,
When I find someone, I'll let you know.
it's out there somewhere,
Yeah.
someone's
Oh yeah,
cooking it up.
someone's already done it, mate.
Yeah, of course
We're,
they fucking
we're
have.
just not
Everyone's
up
done
with
everything.
Just
up
the
with it.
idea of that though, this kind of umbrella, and then you expand that, and that's heavy metal. It's this labyrinth that you just kind of walk through. So many different corridors and channels and styles. There's some, and I don't know if anyone's been able to describe what it is that ties all of that together.
The
You
riff.
know, I guess it is. It's
The
the
riff.
riff. Yeah, all right. That's
Yeah,
Sorry,
the riff.
stop ruin your flow, but
yeah. Well, no,
Tregenza is
I mean,
spoken.
what you did is you brought clarity to my flow.
Love
Right,
it.
before we do number 8, then you're allowed to have a luxury item on this island once the plane crashes and everything. Fuck, shit. What am I going to do? So you can have one luxury item. What's it going to be?
Right. Anyone who knows me knows that I like a drink.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that.
anyone that knows me. I could have done the cliche thing. I need a record player. Don't need a record player.
You get that by default. It's
Just
fine.
going to get that by default. So I tried, I thought about getting like a distillery. But
this is almost like the time
that's too luxury.
We came up with the Astoria was going to be our luxury item. It just went way off.
But also, we had a construction crew to build it. So
yeah,
well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought a distillery or like a brewery, but then I realised that I'd need buildings and stuff like that for a brewery. So I decided that my luxury item would be an apiary.
Oh, hello.
Because it would give me loads and loads and loads of honey, and I could just make loads of mead.
You really thought about this, haven't you?
All right.
There
I
you
mean, I
go.
can't give it that.
That's my luxury item. I want an
And to
apiary.
be fair, like what is more metal than sitting on a desert island with all those albums drinking mead?
Drinking
I mean,
mead.
that's on some Viking shit, man. That's
Fuck you know. I think that's the best one yet.
Get it in the horn.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to drink it out of hollowed out coconuts, won't you?
Well,
That's
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Well, look, I think that's pushed the Astoria out. That's the best one yet.
Yeah. Down with it. Down with that.
Fucking fair play.
Down with it.
Yeah,
Right. So
get me a box and a load of bees, and I'll make mead forever.
yeah.
Right, fair enough. I want to keep bees. Right, okay. Let's round this off then. What have you left till the last one?
Last one. Right, last one has to be this absolute masterpiece. So this is Elephant Tree.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Yes, it
Elephant Tree.
is.
This album just touched me. Like,
Right.
not
Do you
like
want to
that.
show us? Do you want to show
Not
us on
like
the doll
that.
where it touched you?
I can't show you because otherwise someone will get in trouble.
Right.
But it's just a beautiful album. Like, it's heavy, but it's beautiful. It's warm, but I don't know, it's just there's something about it. It it just really got me.
Mm.
Some of the tracks on that album are just so like heartwarming,
Yeah.
but still
Yeah.
really heavy.
Yeah.
And it's
I think.
just like it's a beautiful mix of emotion and heaviness at the same time, but not like angry emotion. It's just
Yeah.
heartfelt emotion, and it's got a groove to it. It's got weight to it. It's got good songwriting. It's got beautiful production on that album as well.
Yeah.
I will say that. And it's again, I think we've alluded to it loads of times. It's timeless. I mean, this album came out in 2016. 2016. And
Right.
it still stands up again today. It still stands up every time these guys play. They still play tracks off this album and they still sound fresh. They still sound good.
It's
And
a sweet spot, isn't it?
yeah,
Everything you've described there about, the weight of the riff, but with that, there's that kind of just that connection to human emotion. Like you said, the warmth. There's something
yeah.
just really kind of, like a hug in there. Like I'm not massively familiar with that record, but your
No, me
description of it
neither.
reminded me of Rust by Monolord. That is the album for
Mm.
me that does that.
Yeah. It's
It
got a similar vibe.
just kind of monolithically heavy, but you just kind of it also just gives you a very like warm hug at the same time.
Yeah, very much so.
And
Again, that's another album that really, like, I struggled not to put into this top eight. Monolord's
right,
Rust. Again, beautiful album. But I think Elephant Tree just pipped it for me because it was a band that I picked up. I can't even remember where I picked them up from. Like again, I think it was just another one of those sort of
yeah,
like Kerrang journeys or something along those lines. But nobody else that I knew was listening to that at the same time as I was. So
right,
I went to see them sort of two or three times on my own, like
yeah,
because they were the band that I wanted to go and see.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
That's another kind of sort of I don't know what like a rite of passage or something. When you're getting into music, all these journeys, whatever age you're at, sometimes those bands crop up, and for whatever reason, they just sort of the your peers and your friend group, I don't know. Don't It doesn't connect with, or they don't have that same experience as you do, and you just kind of hone in on it and it becomes your thing,
mm,
and then that's what drives you to the gigs. And suddenly you realize that okay, it wasn't just my thing, it's like all these other people too, and then it's a new family, a new corridor down the labyrinth.
yeah. And I think that still happens, man. Like it still
Yeah, yeah,
happens
yeah,
with
of
me. That still
course.
happens. Like I'll still pick up an album that I like of a band that like nobody else has been like nobody else has recommended it to me, but it just gets me.
Yeah, yeah. But the joy of that is then you go back, you kind of go back to the tribe, and it's
Mm.
like, guys,
Yeah.
listen
Check
to
this out.
this, you know.
Yeah, and then everyone else goes, nah.
Nah. Yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
There you go.
Well, look, I got to
That's
be
me
honest.
eight.
I got to be honest. That was a hell of a list.
yeah, man.
That
Yeah,
was a hell of a list, and
yeah,
I think the way it kind of tells a story, like you said, from your old man's music collection to through college and the stuff that's still sticking with you now. That's kind of what that's why we're sitting here doing this. It's why we sit here talking about records and bands and all that kind of shit. It sits with you through your entire fucking life, doesn't it? And as cliched and as cheesy as that is, it's
Well, yeah.
important,
I mean, Chris, it goes back to your point about where you said, it still happens now, discovering new music.
Yeah.
It's because we're all still on that journey. None of us gave it up.
Yeah, and
and we
I
always
don't
will
think
be.
we'll ever stop that journey, will we?
No.
It's just,
If it stops, you may as well give up.
yeah.
For every Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath, you always need that new injection of something, because
Yeah.
that's what keeps it all fresh. And I know, every Friday there's a saturation of new music coming out, but every now and then you just pick out an absolute gem, and those are the things that stick with you. So, yes, it might take a little bit more work now, but you've got to listen to 70 albums to find one. But it's it's at least it's there. It's as much as people rag on the likes of Spotify and Apple Music and that, it does give us that. It's all there at our fingertips, isn't it? If we want to go and chase it, it's there.
Yeah.
I
think those streaming sites have got their place. I
of course
think
they have.
they've got their place in society. I mean, it doesn't pay anyone, but
No.
it as much as I hate to say, it is exposure. It is.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. It's yeah.
For the want of a better way of saying it, it's cheap exposure.
As much as you'd want all your music to be listened to on vinyl, it just isn't practical, is it? You want it to be out there one way or another. So
that's it, and it's like for every band that might, and again, I know it's a big debate, and I'm not saying there's right or wrong, but for every band that isn't getting paid, there's 110 other bands that are being heard that would never have been heard. Like, how do you quantify one with the other? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. It is what it is, and it's a devil and an angel, I think.
It's kind of embrace it, I think, to a certain extent, isn't it? If you can use it to help you play your game. You can use it to its strengths rather than. I think a lot of these bands now that are taking the music down off of streaming sites, I think, are making a mistake. Like, I get the sort of sentiment and the principle behind it, but I think genuinely, if you want your art to be out there, you need a platform one way or another. Whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple or Tidal or whatever it is, they've all got something wrong with them. None of them are perfect.
Yeah.
But even Bandcamp isn't perfect.
No. And look, even the music industry that came before all of this,
exactly.
When bands were signing up to labels, the music industry in whatever form it takes has always been exploitative. And
it's
that's
a fucking cesspit.
It's not me saying that's okay, but it's just saying we're not in a new era where, it's
always happened.
Bands have always been ripped off.
Look at fucking Elvis.
Exactly.
Was ripped off left, right, and center. So it's always been there. And as shit as it is, we're all consumers and we all buy into it one way or another. So
I've banged on a lot about earache today, but
yeah,
I mean, you only have to go back to then to know that like what they were doing at the time wasn't right.
No.
Right. Yeah.
There are still bands that don't own the rights to some of their records.
Yeah.
Who were signed to earache. So
and it's Phil. No, before we go down a very controversial
rabbit
hole, some people will kill it quick. But, Chris, thank you so much. That was thoroughly enjoyable 90 minutes. And,
excellent.
There's a couple of things in there that I'm not necessarily that familiar with as well, like that Cough album. I know about the band, but I don't think I've heard that album. So it's some that I can go out and check out as well. So
yeah, and I'm going to get on board with that Elephant Tree, man, because as I said, it just reminded me of some other stuff, and I want to check it out.
Yeah, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here. So,
so,
quick closing statement, just to remind people that Masters of the Riff tickets are out there on DICE now. By now, day tickets are available as well. So come and get involved. We'll be there, and we may or may not have the odd beer or whatever. So come and say hello, have a drink, and the comment I made earlier on about Bean buying you all a drink might not necessarily be true, but you can try. And yeah, we will see you then.
Yeah.
Come and say hello anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, come and say hello. Come and say hello. And
We'll all be there.
Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you again next week with some more riff-related waffle, as we always do. So, cheers. Stay metal.
Waffle-related riffs. That's never been done before, has it?
Riff-related waffle?
No, waffle-related riffs.
Waffle-related riffs.
Yeah, there's like a breakfast-themed concept album in there somewhere. But there you go.
More false endings in the
another episode. Yeah.
See you next week. Cheers. Stay metal.